Hi guys, today's video is going to be 3 ingredient peanut butter cookies. Now, I know but most people have a sweet tooth now and then. But have you ever gone to the store and take care of that sweet tooth, buy some cookies off the shelf, take them home, open them up, take a bite? It's nothing like homemade cookie. And I came across this recipe when I was young. I was about 13 years old, and I wanted to bake all the time. And this one particular day, I asked my mom, I said, can I bake some cookies or something? And she's like, well, I don't know if we have the ingredients. Just why don't you hold? I had an aunt that was there, and she overheard the conversation, and she goes, you know what? Give me a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to give you a recipe, and I'm sure your mom's got all the ingredients. So I gave her a piece of paper and a pen. She wrote down the ingredients, handed me the paper, and I read it over, and I said, are you serious? Aren't we missing something? She goes, like what? And I said, flour, baking powder, uh, stuff to make cookies. She's like, nope. She goes, everything you need is right there on that piece of paper. So I thought, wow, this is weird, but I guess I'll try it. So I went inside and I put all those ingredients together, and guess what? Was the easiest, the fastest, the quickest cleanup, and the best cookie I think I've ever had as far as peanut butter cookies go. So, and it's so easy to remember after all these years. I still have it right here on the top of my head. So I'm going to go over the things that we need for it. The first thing, of course, is a cookie sheet, and I always line my cookie sheets with foil. That makes it real easy cleanup, because when you're done, you just peel the foil off and throw it away. Cookie sheets get washed in the dishwasher or in the sink when you're done. You're going to need a mixing bowl, a fork to stir with, a spatula, and a cookie scoop, or you can just use a scoop, and you don't even have to use that. You can use your fingers when you're done, when you get to that point. But anyway, the 3 ingredients are this: 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 egg. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this together. First, we're going to break our egg into a bowl, separate bowl. That way we can inspect it, make sure it's good, and get out those little eggshells. Don't know why, but that always happens to me. Okay, so anyway, we're going to take that egg and we're going to beat it up. Just kind of get it all broke up, and then pour it into the mixing bowl. Second ingredient would be the 1 cup of sugar. Pour that into the mixing bowl. Now we're going to take and mix these 2 ingredients together, and they will form sort of like a spatter, I guess you would call it, but it's egg and sugar. See the consistency? Once you get them both incorporated into each other, you're ready to add peanut butter. The peanut butter needs to be added slowly. You can start out by putting about half of it in, but you don't want to put the whole thing in because it becomes hard to stir. So half of it goes in, and you just begin mixing it with the fork, just like you did the sugar and the egg. Just mix so that becomes incorporated. Once that looks fully mixed, you'll add about half of what you got left, which is about 1/4 of a cup. Add that in and mix it up. Now as you start adding the peanut butter and mixing, you will notice that it's starting to get a little stiff, a little hard to stir. And that's what we want. When we're done, when it's all added, and we're ready to add the last part to it, going to start forming into a ball, and it's going to start pulling away from the bowl. And then you know it's ready to start forming your little balls. These little balls to put onto the cookie sheet and bake it. So now we got our last bit of the peanut butter in here, and we're going to stir it real good. Make sure it all gets mixed up. See how it starts forming into a ball. Stir it until it gets to a consistency where you can actually grab a hold of it, and pick it up, and it doesn't stick to your hand. Like so. Make a little ball with it. Stick it back in there. So anyway, but you can do it one of two different ways, and I like to use the scoop. This is something I used to use the little balls and lay the little balls on the cookie sheet, but I don't do that anymore. So we're going to take our pan and spray the cookie sheet. Not too much, because you got enough oil in peanut butter in the cookie. So we take the scoop a little out, put it onto the cookie sheet. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, and by the way, I turned the oven on to 350 to preheat it already, so it's already ready for me to pop them in when I get them all out here onto the cookie sheet. And then you just fill your cookie sheet. You can make them, these are going to be pretty good size. You can make them smaller, you can make them larger. Now it depends on what kind of a cookie you want. Go ahead and fill up your cookie sheet. And I'm going to stop right there. That's plenty for going in the first time. And go ahead and take your fork that you used to mix with. Clean it off a little bit. And then you're going to want to take and make little fork marks. Push them down, flatten them out a little bit, and make your little fork marks. There is an easier way to do this. It's to dip your fork into sugar, but I don't want too much sugar in these cookies. It's already a lot. So I'm just doing it like this. Once you have them flattened, pop them into the oven. Anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. We're going to put it on for 8, and we'll check it at 8. Okay. Okay, so now while that's baking, I was going to give you a couple of extra little pointers. And that was quick. I've already made the cookies and they're in the oven, and how long did that take? But with this ingredients, you can change it up a little bit. You can put a little Hershey's Kiss right on top before you stick it in the oven, and those are really delicious. You can also make them more nutritious. Instead of sugar, you can add stevia or Truvia, which is the artificial sweetener, 0 sugar, but it's made by a plant. It's not artificial. It's not manufactured. You can use that instead of sugar, and they'll be good for diabetics. Or you can use everything that I use. Just make sure that your peanut butter, when you buy it, is gluten-free, and you have gluten-free cookies. No flour, no nothing in there that's gluten. And then you got, several